Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from Adamant Mindset. Modern women are mad that men are saving so much money walking away. Please text Red down below. I really appreciate it. That's good at Chow. It's Chow time.
Which is why I posted on my various social medias asking single men to tell me how much they spent on average on a typical date, because the number one answer by a country mile that men gave me was zero. That's right, the overwhelming majority, and I'm talking 90% plus.
Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date. Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date. Would men rather stay single than be with a woman? Is the question.
As you see today, guys, the modern man has completely fallen. There's no substance, there's no structure, no direction, no purpose, no base, no financial stability. What can you offer her now that, like I said, she cannot do herself?
Hello there people, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to see how men going their own way are actually winning in life and enjoying their lifestyle. Let's see.
Damn right.
There was a study called from the Pew Center for Research conducted a study that said 63% of men under age 30 would rather stay home and watch porn than go on a date.
I do admit that is a sad thing that men don't want to progress, don't want to grow and be better. But I also can't blame men for it either. The strive for families, the strive to have a legacy and kids have been dashed greatly by society nowadays.
Men say they are getting their needs met without having to go on a date. Would men rather stay single than be with a woman? Is the question.
That's what they're saying, pretty much.
63% of men.
I think they're cheap.
What a joker. Yeah, they just ain't got no money.
Broke,
Don't have
dusty,
money.
musty,
Which you
crusty.
should get your money up before you start dating. So it is cheaper to sit home and beat your meat
Right.
than actually go out
And I'm not talking about the men either. I'm talking about the women that always call men cheap.
and find actual women to hang out with.
That's
I
a sad
disagree.
reality.
I disagree.
Why? What do you think?
Is it less of
What
a
do you
headache
think?
to have
Here
to
we
deal
go.
with a woman or something?
There it goes. Like, it's a headache. Now I gotta take you out. I gotta hear what you had to tell your whole day.
That's why you take out people you actually like, and then you don't feel that.
Yeah, but then what? I gotta get to know you first to like you, right?
Yeah.
So how do I get to know you?
Talk.
Call on the
So you
phone.
rather
it
hand?
out.
Hey, listen, I'm married.
You always gotta say. Okay, so
I don't got these nigga problems.
if you wasn't married,
I'd probably beat him. I mean, 100 miles an hour.
My man. That's one thing I never really promote or anything is beating your meat. Like, you shouldn't be beating your meat on a consistent basis. It just lowers your drive to want to do anything. So just focus. Go monk mode. I'd rather you guys go monk mode than just constantly beat your meat and watch corn.
Going straight to broke off rip is crazy. Exactly. They have no accountability. Always blame the men. They're broke, they're dusties. It's never a woman's fault.
And that's why I said broke, musty, dusty, crusty right off the bat when she said it, because she went straight to it, and the women that go straight to it are the ones that are broke, dusty, musty, and crusty.
I think they saw the riddle very quickly first response of calling them broke because they don't want to go out. This right here is why we don't want to date. This is crazy. What do you guys feel?
Julia Fox in an interview talked about how she's not dating men anymore. I do think this is part of a larger trend within a lot of women online and just women in general of like giving up on men, giving up on relationships, just reverting back to what feels safe. I'm never gonna date men ever again. Like when my friend says that to me, like I wanna, go deeper into that. And like, will that really make you? And maybe it will.
Let's see the comments where all the chats and Chiron had destroyed this woman. It's a sad realization that the partnership we long for doesn't exist in this world. Maybe for next generation. I've been so traumatized by men in my family, in society, on those I've dated. I'm exhausted and guarded. I think I'll be fine with friends and dogs. How many bad experiences do we have to have before we believe that we are done? I have done the inner work and made a conscious decision I'm done. Life without men is so peaceful and joyful. I'm so much more happier single.
It's just the copium that these women spout out.
I've been celibate for years and also in therapy for past 3. The amount of peace and joy experienced is unmatched in honesty. It's funny that they have to do therapy to find peace. It's crazy.
There was a study done in the 90s, and what they found out, I think, still holds true today. So what they did is they took a group of men and they took a group of women and they categorized these men. So it was like high status, t-shirt, McDonald's. Same thing with the women. High status, t-shirt, McDonald's. And then they asked, the men, okay, would you go to coffee with this person, go on a date, marry?
Yes.
And in all 3 categories, the guy didn't care. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. With women, it was a whole different story. Women went to the high status man for the majority of them. So that was for coffee, date, marriage. My takeaway on this is just goes along with the trends I've been seeing. So we are in this Kardashian culture and have been for, 10 years. I don't know how long they've been
Maybe
on.
more.
But this idea of perfection has just been kind of unseen before.
Yeah.
I mean, before we had magazines, we knew they were kind of airbrushed, but what we see now, women are doing eyebrows.
It's not that women are doing things. It's women that also expect perfection from men. They expect the perfect man, the perfect mate for them. That's the problem. This perfection in their head, the imaginary Prince Charming that's going to come in his white gallant fucking horse, saving them from this treacherous dating market. That's what they all want and they all expect to happen.
Microblading, dermaplaning, eyelash extensions, hair extensions, lip fillers, cheek fillers, breast implants, butt implants, fat transfer, taking ribs out. I mean, literally women are taking their ribs out. So I think just the pressure and the unattainable beauty that they put on themselves, they're also putting that sort of unattainable image and desire on a guy as well.
Yep.
And that's why these guys are backing out, because guys know, that's crazy. We can't do all that.
Yep.
Some can. I mean, it's the small minority.
What was that at the end of the video? She was indicating that men would also like to change their physical appearances. I don't think any man interested in that.
I think men would like to. I don't think this is far-fetched that if men can choose to have bigger dicks, most men would probably have bigger dicks. It is what it is. If we can choose to be taller, we would probably choose that. But it's also meaningless for a lot of men because these things are unchangeable for some ways.
Directly, it's not straight men who want a natural-looking woman. Such men, I'm not interested in those things. And that study about women only choosing rich guys, well, that will never stop happening because it's their mindset to have better option. And of course, the laws will make them steal half of that or even more than that. So that's why they're going to choose such men and marry them, because even if it fails, they know they're getting something out of it. So they don't have any risk in that. Only men have risk.
Yep.
Let's see some comments for this. Society forgets that it's men who built it and men can destroy it and build it back again.
Exactly.
We can watch the world burn and we don't even care anymore. No wife, no kids, more fun, more freedom. It's as the old saying goes, a child shunned by his village will one day burn it down just to feel its warmth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure we won't go to that extreme, but it's just a phrase. Men gave up on Rome. By the end, there wasn't much to destroy. It was already rotten from the inside out. Exactly.
The cost of dating. Originally, I was going to do a talk about how expensive it has become for men in the dating world. What would the cost of things like the dating apps, not to mention going out to dinner, or the cost of the dates themselves, especially with regard to the increased expectations today's women have on just how much money men should be spending on them when they go on dates. Which is why
we hear it all the time, $100, $200, $300. There's even some outrageous $2,000.
I posted on my various social medias asking single men to tell me how much they spent on average on a typical date and how many dates per month they were going on. I also asked how much they were spending on things like the dating sites and whatever other means they were using to find dates. My goal ultimately was to get a rough number of just how expensive dating has become for the average man in 2024. And to be fair, I had a few that responded with their actual numbers, which ran the gamut from $150 a month all the way up to a couple thousand. But that doesn't
Who the fuck's doing a couple thousand? Stop it. Stop it.
even come close to telling the tale. Because the number one answer by a country mile that men gave me was 0. That's right, the overwhelming majority, and I'm talking 90% plus of those who responded to my query said they don't spend a single cent dating anymore. They've walked away and aren't coming back anytime soon. Now, I knew I would get some 0 answers because I see those things all the time in the comments on my videos, where guys say they're done and walking away from dating. But 90%? Wow. Now look, I'm not trying to claim this is a scientific survey by any means.
Nope.
Some will argue that I'm relying on the self-reporting of these men.
Which most of the men that report within my channel and our niche would probably report this. So,
and what they're telling me, which is a fair point. But the reality is, that's not all that much different from what those so-called scientific studies do. Add to it, when you combine the results of my unofficial study with the literally hundreds of thousands of comments that I've gotten on my videos just this year alone, saying the very same thing, well, that's not something that should be so easily dismissed or ignored.
That makes me so happy that men are saving so much money by not getting involved in this. Like, people are spending 0 on dating. That's amazing. Somewhat still trying to date some. That's why you mentioned that he still got some.
And guys, if you still want to date, you still want to find a mate, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't think that you're being shamed if you are, like, men just don't want to take the risk, which is understandable. Some still do. I still take the risk. I still go out and date. I spend less money than I probably spend maybe $100 or $200 a month on dating. So it's not that much, but actually it is quite a bit. Actually, now that I think about it, $200. But I'm also seeing someone pretty steadily too, so it's a little bit different.
Men claiming to be spending hundreds and even thousands, but eventually they will come to the same group who spends 0, because the kind of women we got today aren't all that much trouble. Let me know what you guys feel about this. We got some comments for this. I spent a decade overseas in military. When I returned, every girl seems to think she's deserving of a Kim Kardashian lifestyle, so I refuse to date. 62, single, not looking, and happy. 0 on dates, 100% content. Exactly. Man, enjoy your life. Don't spend your hard-earned money on this woman. Next thing men need to do is stop the sim on OF. See, we cannot stop such men. Everyone has their own mindset, and such men are actually kind of weak because they're easy to tempt. You can find such contents freely on internet, but they still feel like paying this woman. I really don't understand why. Ladies,
I am also confused by the mindset of why pay for OnlyFans when Pornhub is completely free. Like, there's so many tube sites for corn. Why would you pay for it for a particular person when you have a repertoire of millions, almost hundreds of millions almost, of different girls on there? I'm confused also. I do realize that some people want that intimacy, chatting back and forth, but how delusional are these men to think that they're getting a true, genuine connection out of this?
the men have left the building, the bears await you. Exactly.
Women will no longer date in 2023. Guys, I'm afraid to tell you that for the average man, there is absolutely nothing you can fulfill in a woman's life that she herself cannot. Now, this wasn't always this way, and in fact, in thriving relationships, we both played vital roles in each other's lives, helping each other out through the polarity of our energies. But you see, today, guys, the modern man has completely fallen. There's no substance, there's no structure, no direction, no purpose, no base, no financial stability. What can you offer her now that, like I said, she cannot do herself? If we're to fix this future generation moving forwards, we must rise back up in our spiritual authority, our fitness, finances, direction, clarity, conviction, basedness as men. Masculinity has qualities and characteristics that no woman can possibly emulate. But it's up to us to truly hop back into that frame and not just play life on easy mode.
Agreed.
Wow, this Sims are crazy, man. It literally said, don't live your life on easy mode. Work hard so that the woman in your life can steal all that work. And
No. I agree with what he said, as in men should be doing these things. I don't agree that we should be doing it just to get women. I think men should always be striving. Men should always be doing these, growing and wanting something more out of life than just contentness. Some people do, which is perfectly fine. But I think most men, a good chunk of men, want more out of their life. And because you want more, go after it.
divorce you when she feels comfortable. Man, this man makes no sense. And of course,
yeah, it makes no sense in the context of you're doing all of this just to get women. No, you do all of that for you. You want to live a good life. You want to do things. You want to travel. Do better for you.
the comments gonna be all about a woman supporting this kind of nonsense. I don't even want to show these comments because those would trigger you, like the way it's triggering me. This is crazy, man. What do you...
Yeah, see, this... Obviously, he's pandering to women, but this particular clip is pandering to women. But what he says, I don't disagree with. Men should be stepping up a little bit more. Men shouldn't be content with corn. Men should strive for families and things like that if they want it. And I know there's a good chunk of men that still want it. If you don't want it, I'm not saying anything about that. But a good chunk still do, and there's nothing wrong with striving for it, guys. There's nothing wrong with bettering yourself.
How do you feel about these guys saying all this nonsense?
Many women say they are finding it very hard to find a man who makes as much as they do. And this is changing the age-old mentality that men are the breadwinners. And researchers say they are seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who...
dating down.
So women, we're more educated now. And so with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one because you're dating down. You wanted to make more money. Right. Are you going to find many men out there that makes as much as you do?
And my point is, so now you're going to, because we hear so much about women that are like, oh, there's nobody out there. There's no one out there. I can't find love. I'm getting too old. Now you're going to sacrifice the fact that you could find that love because the man's not making that much money?
See, when men used to dig down, it was normal. It was gentleman. But now a woman that make equal money above what a man is making, all of a sudden she is digging down and degrading such kind of practice. It's crazy how their brain works, man. It's stupid.
If you've been curious about dating multiple people, but you're like, I can't even get one date, this video is for you. So if you're having a hard time finding men to date,
If you have a hard time finding men to date, you are the problem. And you are a big problem.
I've got to talk about expanding your dating field, okay? Now hear me when I say this. Expanding your dating field does not mean lowering your standards. I could go on about standards versus expectations, but that's a whole different TikTok. But if you're saying you can't get many dates, to me, that says your selection process needs to be opened a little bit more. It also might mean how you're selecting the dates needs to be looked at again. Because I say this with love, because if you're on dating apps only selecting people that you think you're attracted to, big mistake. And I also hate to say this, it's a little shallow. Because ask yourself this, because if the guy of your dreams who treats you like a queen could be one swipe away, but you're judging him on a little bit of balding right there, his waist isn't snatched, whatever the thing is, you could be selling yourself short. And of course, tell me what you think in the comments.
I think most of all, women should not be the one judging guys on their appearances. Because if men start to judge based on that, you won't be even qualified to be around them.
This is true. Men are very forgiving in the looks department or in the attraction department because we're attracted to most women. You know, you could be slightly overweight. You can have, you know, one arm. You can have a scar or something, and men say, yeah, she's still cute. Doable, you know. I'll mess with it. That's most men.
That's the reality, but they don't want to accept that.
The only thing I'm going to be doing at 12 o'clock tonight is kicking any man away that tries to come near me. You're not going to ruin my year on day one, my love. You're not doing it this year. So, no New Year's kiss. I've got a husband. Yeah, he's invisible. But here we are.
Just making up fucking invisible
if you see me out
husbands.
tonight, don't approach me, because you get one of them, mate, straight to the face. With that ring on, you'll be out like a light.
Just threatening men now.
See, I understand this is just a woman joke. But let's step back a little and think if men can make such jokes.
Any woman approaching me?
He would be cancelled and in jail by no time, man. Imagine hitting a woman is a joke. And imagine if she actually tries to do that. I mean, most men would try to avoid because they don't want to be in any kind of legal situation.
Yep.
But men who don't care, man, they will, man, I don't
strike you down.
She has no idea how capable men are once they start to fight back. It's crazy.
So pound for pound, the silverback gorilla is one of the strongest animals on the face. Bro's majestic.
I'm going to ask you a question, and your answer better be quick.
Okay.
Where were you last night at 9?
Quick.
Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras? Because
oh, he's giving me lovers. He's gonna bite me. He knows it. I know it. It's coming. But he wants to be up above me.
Option 2 is called the
It's coming.
In this plan, your payments vary.
Oh, God. This is the worst part. Oh, don't do it, John. You did it. God damn it.
I really do miss Tom Tom.
I knew it. I knew it.
You say what now? Ninjas kidnapped my family. I need money for karate classes.
Ninjas kidnapped your family and you need money for karate classes.
My kids been abducted by aliens. I need money to build a spaceship. 100 ninjas is chasing me. I need money for cat there. And one last thing. They stole my song. They called it Despacito. It's called XYZito. They go, XYZito. No, welcome to New
This
York.
man is hilarious. I get it, guys. You guys want to just relax, watch corn, and not have to deal with women. I get it. I get it. But I think we all should be striving to be better. Why? Because corn and staying at home and doing nothing isn't really the business. It really isn't, guys. There's so much of the world to see, so much of the world to conquer as men. Things to conquer as men. Start conquering. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys next time. Ciao.